So my husband just lost his job and we're trying really hard to find another one, but I don't know because there's a lot of businesses laying people off right now and we don't know if we're going to find something that was paying the same amount. The rent we have right now is crazy. Everywhere rent is just outrageous. Even if we did find another job, the chances that we'll make enough to pay for that is pretty slim. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna be doing something kind of crazy. I don't want to give away everything yet because I think it's going to be kind of exciting and we don't know exactly what to expect either. But for right now, what we're going to do is we're going to live in our RV. And that's what I'm in right now. I'm in our 26-foot RV. It's definitely a little bit messy. So I've got a lot of work to do. And there's some things that I want to prepare just because we've lived in this before. We've stayed in it for like a couple months on end. And there are parts about it that were really awesome, but there were some parts that were really challenging. And just based on our own experience of what was hard, we want to make sure we are prepared this time. I'm pretty much going through everything and I'm going to try to figure out how we can make this thing just like not only like really homey, but also so all of our stuff has a place. I want to keep everything super organized. So we're a family of 3 plus a dog. Our son is 1.5 years. We bed share with him. So the small little beds inside the RVs are really hard. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna switch that up because we want to live our best lives in here. So this is the bed currently. It has just a standard queen size bed. I'm pretty sure the people who owned it before kind of extended this bottom part a little bit. So they put some plywood so that they could get a bigger, like a longer bed in it. Because most queen size beds inside RVs are kind of short. So this is like kind of like a standard queen size bed. And then our family member helped to extend the side right here. So he just drilled in this piece of wood and then we extended it with some plywood right here. And that's totally like sturdy and everything like that. Now we didn't have, because we have this cabinet right here, we weren't able to fit a bigger bed, but what we did is we just got some foam and this like worked for like a short amount of time. But I want to live, oh, I have hair in my mouth. I want to live my best life. And honestly, it's not super comfortable because it's just uneven. And we've been putting our head where the foam is. And it's just like, it kind of messes up your neck when you get to be in your early 30s. So we want to extend it. And I'm going to show you what we're going to do. I'm kind of excited about it because I think it's going to make a huge difference. So we're going to take this cabinet right here. And we're going to get rid of it. We're going to saw it off. And it's just in here, it's just like, if you can see, it's just, you can hang up stuff and that's all that's in it. So we're just going to take off this door and we're just going to try to see if we can saw off the whole entire wall of that. And we're going to pop our freaking king size bed in there. Yeah, and it's going to work. I measured it out and it's plenty of space. So it's going to work perfect. So the other thing that was really challenging about living in a small space like this is I find that it's hard to find a place for everything. It's hard to, when you're living in an RV, it's hard to have all of your stuff in here. There's a limited amount of storage space. It's just really hard. Things are everywhere. It's easy to get it feeling cluttered and just like it can feel really overwhelming really quick. The plus side is it doesn't really take that much time to clean because it's so small, but I figure if we find more space to organize and little areas like that, I think it will help a lot. If everything has a set space, I think it will just make such a big difference. So what my plan is going to be is I'm going to put floating shelves above the window here and above this window on this side, and the one cabinet that's left right here, instead of it being something that has just like a small amount of hanging space, I'm going to try to make some type of shelves in there so you can fold clothes and just put a lot more clothes in there. We have those cabinets up there, which we'll use for clothes as well. Under the bed, under this part right here, I'm gonna find some type of thing that we can pull out where we can put blankets or maybe even more clothes. And then there's a little space right in here as well. So I'm gonna see if I can find something that's small, like small little drawers that we can put more clothes in, maybe for Bodhi or something, our son. So I think that will take care of clothes. And I think also the other thing that we might be able to do is when we take this out, we'll keep the hanging part in there so we can hang a little bit of clothes as well. So that'll do it for here. And then also on this side, we might be able to put more things as well for, I don't know, maybe for Bodhi's toys. We can put like a chest in there that you can lift up for all of his toys. That being said, like that still means that we have to downsize a lot or even maybe get a storage unit, because no matter what you do, no matter how much space you try to make, it's still hard to fit a whole life into an RV. So either we're gonna have to downsize and really like make a lot of trips to Goodwill and give things away, or we're gonna have to get a storage unit. So we'll see what happens on that front, but I think the organization part will help a lot. I have this little part right here, and I was thinking also we might look inside of it. You can screw this part off, so we might look inside of that and see if there's nothing in there, like it's not holding any type of electrical or anything like that. We might just knock this out and put like a huge cabinet down here for like maybe food and our dishes, because we don't have much cabinet space. We have this cabinet right here, which is very small. We also have this little small nook in here, which maybe could fit some dishes or food. And we also have this up here. And then, you know, we have the fridge and we have like this small cabinet under here. So it's really not a lot of cabinet space. And then also the drawers, which you want to probably put like silverware and, you know, knives or whatever. So there's really not a lot of cabinet space. So I think we're going to have to get creative with this area over here. The other thing that was super challenging as well was how cold it can get in here at nighttime, especially in, you know, during the winter. We're going to be off grid. So it really doesn't take a lot of electricity to heat this up because it's running off of propane. It doesn't take that much to do. So it's not really that big of a problem energy-wise, but you do suck through a ton of propane, especially because this is an insulated 4-season RV, but the windows, you lose a lot through the windows. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make some really good window coverings, like with insulation and maybe Reflectix, and I don't know, I might try to do some type of fabric on them to make them look kind of like a little bit less like, you know, just make them look better, prettier. So I'm going to do that. And I think that it's going to make a huge difference on all the windows. What else? The other thing that can be challenging is the black water tank. We are not going to have a dump station. What we were thinking is we were going to get a compost toilet. We're just going to make our own. We're going to have one in the bathroom and one outside. One outside is just going to be for number 2, because you don't really want that smell in here. And inside we're going to have one for a pee, because I don't really want to go outside to pee at night. So I figure that won't be that big of a deal. And at night, you know, you just keep the lid on it. And then if you have to go, you can take the lid off of your compost toilet bucket, whatever. So we're gonna do that. And the reason why is because we don't want to load everything up just to dump our tanks. You have to do that like weekly. Even if you make it stretch like with water and you don't use your tanks and you just use like maybe some type of huge water tank that you bring with you, and you're not using your tanks and they're not getting full, it can be really challenging with the toilet situation because it starts to smell after 1 week. The bacteria in there just, whatever it does in there, it starts to smell because we've done it before. So our solution is we're gonna have a compost toilet. The other thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna get like a huge water tank, or we're gonna have like a community well that we're gonna use. So either way, we're gonna be hauling water. So we have a huge water tank we're gonna get, and we're gonna use that. What I'm probably gonna do is I'm going to get like some type of water dispenser for inside, and we're just gonna use that for cooking, for drinking water. It's gonna be filtered. And I'm also probably going to use it for washing dishes. We're going to have to use biodegradable soap. There's things that you have to do to dump outside on land, you know, without it being a problem. Now for food and food scraps, we're going to just try to compost those because we're going to try to start a garden. So that's not going to be a problem. The other thing is the space in here is so small. So sometimes it's easy to get a little stir crazy in here with like a little tiny kid. And you can go outside and you can play, but what happens when the weather is super cold, or if it's raining, or if it's snowing, or, you know, if it's mosquito season, there's a lot of mosquitoes outside, you're getting bit a lot. There's stuff that can come up, and we know this because we've done it. So our solution is we are going to try to beef up our outside a little bit. I'm going to get a really big outdoor rug. We have like an outdoor tent, but it has like siding on it. It has screens on it, so it prevents like mosquitoes from getting in. It shields you from snow, from rain. So I was thinking we could use that, but if the day's nice, we could just hang out on the outdoor rug. We can get like maybe like a little baby gate to go around it. But we've got some nice chairs, just kind of set it up really nice. Maybe get like a Mr. Buddy heater for inside the tent out there if we want to hang out outside. I think there's just like little things that we can do. We also have a car, so like we can go into town. I think we're only going to be like half an hour from town. So we can go into town and like do stuff. It's winter right now, so clothing and like staying warm is like super important. Just like have warm clothes. Like the one thing that I've learned with like living somewhere where it snows and it gets cold is you gotta like definitely have warm clothing, and long underwear is something that's so helpful. You get some really good cold weather long underwear. It's just like pretty much some like leggings that are made for like the really cold weather, and then like a long sleeve, like what looks like a sweater, but the material is just really good for keeping you warm, and you just wear that under all your clothes. So if you have like a good lined beanie, maybe some good mittens, some long underwear, a good jacket, you have like maybe a good scarf, some good wool socks, and maybe some boots or whatever, and then you're probably okay. But I don't think it's gonna be too big of a problem because we live in Arizona, and Arizona, like sometimes in the winter it'll be like 50 or 60 degrees, and that sunshine like is pretty strong and it feels really good. So you do get like a nice break from it in the winter. I think the other thing is just like food in general, you know, like we just have to get like clever with like making food so we're not having to go to the grocery store all the time. You just kind of have to get simple again, you know, like one of the recipes that I remember eating all the time in the RV before was like quinoa. Quinoa like keeps a really long time. It's super nutritious. It's got protein in it. It's got a lot of fiber. It like does keep you full. It's like a really awesome like RV food in my opinion. And then avocados and teriyaki sauce. Like it sounds boring, but it was like really good, and it's something like I ate almost every day. Or I would make like oatmeal. So there's just like little things like that, just things that keep a long time, especially because our fridge is pretty small and like you can't really keep as many like perishable items. So having things like oats and quinoa and like beans, that can be really nice because they don't require refrigeration. The other thing is just like making it homey in here. I think I'm gonna get like some little rugs, get some little wall hangings, maybe put some like decorative pillows in here. Maybe we'll get like a nice little bedspread. Yeah, I think just like little things like that would be really helpful just to kind of make the space feel more homey. It's not necessary, but I think when you have like a guy in here, he probably just wouldn't care. But like when you get a girl in here, it's like more of that feminine energy comes out, and you kind of want like, it makes you feel more like thriving when you have like a little bit of color, a little creativity in your space, you know what I mean? So that is something that I'm gonna try to do. And honestly, that's about it. That's all I can think of for now. I'm excited to make more videos about this because this is just a new chapter for us. We're gonna be living in our RV off-grid. I don't know what's gonna come or what we're gonna exactly do in the future. This is what we're gonna do for right now. Maybe one day we're going to start building our own teeny home. Maybe we're gonna start a garden. Maybe we're gonna have some animals. I don't know. We're just gonna, you know, get started and see what happens. So, oh yeah, and if you haven't gotten a chance to subscribe, Please subscribe. It means literally everything to me. I'm just like literally so grateful for you guys. So thank you. And I'll see you next time.